"You're pretty for a dark-skinned girl." That's a compliment somebody actually gave my cousin, and she smiled and said thank you, because that's what you do. But think about what's hiding inside that sentence. Pretty, comma, for a dark-skinned girl. Like her beauty needed an apology attached to it. That tiny line is the whole thing. It's called colorism. Light skin treated as better than dark skin by people inside the same community, the same family, sometimes the same house. And here's what gets me. Nobody is born ranking their own cousins by shade, so somebody had to build this. Let's find out who. First, let's be honest about how deep it goes, because this isn't just hurt feelings. Researchers have measured it. Darker skinned Black Americans, on average, earn less than lighter skinned Black Americans with the same education. In the justice system, studies have found that defendants with darker skin and more African features tend to receive harsher sentences for comparable crimes. And on screen, lighter skinned actresses get cast over and over, while darker skinned women fight for the same handful of roles. So this isn't in your head. The shade of someone's skin is quietly attached to money, to freedom, to who gets to be the love interest. The question is why? And to answer that, we have to go back to where the ranking was invented. Here's the part they don't teach you. Colorism wasn't an accident of slavery. It was a tool of it. On American plantations, enslavers often gave lighter-skinned people, many of them the slave owners' own children, the work inside the house, domestic jobs, more freedom of movement, a chance to learn a trade. Darker-skinned people were sent to the fields, to the hardest, most brutal labor. So now picture it. The same enslaved community split into two tiers by nothing but skin tone, one given a little more, one given a little less. That's the crack. That's where it starts. A system that needed people divided learned that you could divide them by color, and the womb would do the rest of the work for free. Now, you may have heard this blamed on a famous document, the so-called Willie Lynch letter, a speech where a slave owner supposedly spells out the whole plan. I have to be straight with you. That letter is a hoax. Historians have debunked it. It was written in the 1990s, not 1712, and the words in it didn't even exist back then. The colorism was painfully real. The viral letter explaining it was fake. We don't need a forged memo to see what the plantation actually did. And here's the crazy part. After slavery ended, the ranking didn't die. It got handed down, and Black communities started enforcing it on each other. By the early 1900s, there were real tests. The brown paper bag test, you held a paper bag up to your face, and if your skin was darker than the bag, you didn't get in. Into certain churches, social clubs, even some fraternities and sororities, there was the comb test. If a fine-tooth comb couldn't glide through your hair, you were out. There were blue vein societies where the unspoken rule was your skin had to be light enough to see the veins in your wrists. Sit with that. Of people who just survived being ranked by white enslavers turned around and built their own ranking with a grocery bag as the ruler. That's not evil. That's what it looks like when a lie gets planted deep enough. The people it was used against start carrying it themselves, and it gets in early. In the 1940s, two psychologists ran a now famous experiment, the doll test. They showed Black children two dolls, identical except one was light and one was dark, and asked which one was nice, which one was bad, which one was pretty. Most of the kids picked the white doll as the good one. Some of them, when asked which doll looked like them, pointed at the one they just called bad. That study helped end school segregation in America because it showed what the ranking does to a child before they can even spell their own name. And here's the part that proves it was never really about Black people at all. This exact preference is global. In India, in much of Asia and Africa, lighter skin is sold as success, and skin bleaching is a multi-billion-dollar industry. The World Health Organization estimates that in Nigeria alone, around 77% of women use skin lightening products, the highest rate on earth. People are putting dangerous creams on their bodies to climb a ladder that a colonizer built, the same ladder all over the world. So let's bring it home. The divide between light skin and dark skin is real. It costs people money, safety, and the simple peace of looking in a mirror and liking what's there, but it was never written written in anyone's blood. It was built on a plantation, ranked by a paper bag, taught to children, and it's sold back to us today for profit. And anything that was built can be taken apart. Anything that was taught can be untaught. The next time you hear pretty for a dark-skinned girl, you'll know exactly what that comma is doing, and you can refuse to pass it on. The ranking only survives if we keep agreeing to use it. If this gave you something to think about, subscribe. I dig into the stories underneath the stories. I'll see you in the next one.